Hey guys, so I am here with Landon. I just wanted to show you the outfit that he's wearing. If you remember a while back, his Auntie Yvonne from My Little Tulip sent this awesome Where the Wild Things Are outfit. And sorry, Riley is going nuts because he's playing with a piece of paper that I threw to him. So I apologize for the weird meows in the background. Riley. So I thought I would put his hair all like messy and funky because he's a wild thing with his Wild Things shirt. And actually it's funny, it looks like a shirt, but it's actually a onesie. And then these are the pants, and it fits him. Riley. Sorry guys, he's going crazy. So anyways, it fits him to perfection, guys. Like, look at the pants. Look at these pants. They fit him on the waist perfectly. They're the perfect length. I mean, awesome. Awesome. So thank you, Auntie Yvonne. I just think it looks so cute on him. He is all boy. Okay, Riley. Okay, Riley. Calm down. So I basically wanted to come on and do the tag of what doll collecting means to me. And right now, suddenly my battery is flashing that it is going to go soon. So we'll see how this goes. I might have to stop, charge it, and come back. But anyways, oh goodness, this cat. So anyways, I am just gonna bring this little man here. He looks so cute if I get him like propped up in the boppy, to have him like sitting up like that. There we go. Now you guys can probably see him. So what doll collecting means to me. Oh goodness. Ladies, grab a coffee, sit back, because this is probably going to be a long answer. And the reason for that is there's not one answer for this question for me. Doll collecting means a whole bunch of different things for me. So I'm kind of going to go through the different things that they mean to me. So first and foremost, if you have listened to all of my stories in the Meet the Babies playlist, you will probably know a good chunk of this. But if you haven't listened to my journey with doll collecting story, this is a little bit of it. I'm just going to try to condense it a little. So first off, doll collecting for me, first and foremost, is a way to nurture. And I have always had strong maternal instincts from the time I was a child. And so it has always been a way for me to, like an outlet for that, basically, to love and to nurture. I loved playing dolls when I was a little girl. My number one doll was my Cabbage Patch Kid, Emily. And my child doll, Elizabeth, was a close second. But Emily was, my Cabbage Patch Kid, Emily, was my number one. And she was my daughter. I'm telling you. I would change her outfit every day. I would put her in pajamas every night. I would give her a bottle every night, like with a toy bottle that I had. My mom one Christmas bought me this set that was like a baby plate with fake jars of baby food, and there was even pretend baby food that you could put into the plate, and it came with a spoon and a bottle and all this stuff. And I got a real baby diaper bag with a changing pad and everything. And so my Cabbage Patch Kid was a real baby to me. I took care of her like a real baby, and she went everywhere with me. I took her to restaurants. I took her for walks in her little dolly stroller. When I would go to stay with my grandmother, because sometimes I would go stay with my grandmother on the weekends, or like in the summer, sometimes I would spend a week or two at my grandmother's. And whenever I had to go somewhere overnight, I would pack up her diaper bag with outfits, with her bottles, with her baby powder, her diapers, everything. And I would take that with me to my grandmother's or wherever I was going. She would come with me, and she'd have her pajamas and everything. And so I did that until I was about 13, maybe even almost 14. And then my grandma started making comments such as, I think you're getting too old to play with dolls. You know, why don't you start getting rid of some of your baby toys, your baby things? And so I said, well, I'm not going to be getting rid of them because I want to save them for my future child. So I basically just stopped playing with them, except not 100%. I would sometimes go in my room, close the door, and I would play with my Cabbage Patch Kid, just as I always had, behind closed doors, and no one knew. My grandma didn't know, my mom didn't know, but I would still play with her. And so in high school, I signed up for the parenting class because I knew it meant getting to take home a baby think it over for a weekend. And this is like a computerized baby, cries round the clock for care and all that. And I was so excited to do this. And of course, when I got to bring it home for the weekend, I purposely signed up for a long weekend. So I had an extra day with the baby. I was so happy to be able to carry this baby around with me all weekend. It was a Thanksgiving weekend, so I went to a lot of family things on my dad's side and my mom's side. So everyone got to see this baby that I had, and it was nice to not be ridiculed for playing with a doll, because naturally it was for school, so no one said anything. They were like, oh, that's cool, you know. They were, you know, acting like it was a real baby, and, you know, they thought it was a neat project. I did not want to take the baby back. I was one of the few that loved the whole experience, and I was sad to give the baby back to my teacher. And then after that, I really did get into being a teenager and being with my friends, and it was all about cute guys and Backstreet Boys and 98 Degrees and NSYNC and all the hot boy bands. And I was in the performing arts, and I was very much into that. And so then I really did stop playing with my dolls behind closed doors for a good few years. And then I was in college, or I think it was my first year out of high school actually, that for some reason, I think I was looking back on pictures, and I saw pictures of the baby think it over experience that I did, and I thought, man, I wish I could have one of those babies. I don't know what it was at that moment that made me think of it or want to get one. And so I started to look into it, and I saw I couldn't get one unless I was a school. So I kind of gave up on the idea for a few years. Fast forward, I just finished my first year of college, sorry. And I decided to go ahead and find myself a summer job at a daycare. And I was determined that with the money I made that summer, I was going to buy a baby think it over from eBay. Because I started to research about a year before that and found that you could get them on eBay. But I also came to find through the actual company that they had a sister company that made dolls that were for sale to the general public versus just schools. And so what I ended up doing is I just ended up going with a electronic neonate. And so that's when I got my first doll as an adult. It was an electronic neonate, and I named her Haley, and you guys can go and look at the whole story with her. She was modeled after the Baby Think It Over dolls. She was the same mold. She was made by the sister of the original creator of the Baby Think It Over dolls. She had the same sounds and similar electronics, but just was not on a round-the-clock infant schedule. She had a switch where you could flip her on and off, and instead of crying on a real infant schedule, it was like she would cry every maybe 3 to 4 minutes, and then you would care for her, and then she would stop crying, and then a few minutes later she would cry again for something else, because it was kind of meant for kids, and they figured kids aren't going to wait around for like 3 hours for their baby to cry. They want to play and interact like immediately. So that was the only difference with her. But that was when my hobby with like the doll hobby took off as an adult collector. And that brings me into the next meaning of collecting for me. Is it was a big way for me to de-stress, because I received that electronic neonate. I literally received her the day that I first got sick. I had broke out in those hives that I told you guys about that I had for like a year, and it was the beginning of all of my medical issues. And so it was really the best timing to receive her, because, you know, I was so itchy from these hives. I couldn't, like, it was so hard to keep my mind off of the itching and the burning. And so sometimes I would wake up at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I could not get back to sleep because of the pain and the burning and the itching. And so I would just get up and I would go out into the living room with my baby and watch TV, and just holding her and changing her and giving her a bottle just took my mind off of things for a little while. And so since then, you know, my dolls have brought me so much like comfort and stress relief with all of the medical issues that have ensued since that point in time. And, you know, sometimes I can't hold them if I'm in pain, but even just having them sitting beside me on a boppy, just close to me that I can look at them, it brings a peacefulness to me. But definitely holding them and cuddling them and making videos with them and changing them, it's a good distraction. Like if I'm feeling sad or stressed or whatever, it's like a way to shut off my brain from everything, and I can just play and have fun. Which brings me to the other point of what doll collecting means to me, and it's just like a way to stay young at heart, really. Like, it's play, it's fun, it's, you know, whimsical or whatever, but yeah, it's a nice light-hearted activity. And I think, you know, like that's really what a lot of people find. It's just fun. It's like any other hobby. You do it because it's fun, and it just keeps you young at heart and lighthearted, and yeah. And then the other thing that it means to me is friendships. So honestly, I have made such amazing friends through this hobby over the years. I don't know, like, I would not have these people in my life if I didn't collect dolls. I would never have met them. I would never have gotten to know them. I have people like Paula, who's an amazing friend, and oddly enough, she ended up having a medical crisis herself a couple years ago, and we ended up being like great support for each other because we were both dealing with medical mysteries in a sense. And so she kind of like understood what I was going through, and I understood what she was going through. Meeting people like Yvonne from My Little Tulip, you know, we both have a lot of similarities in our stories too. And so, you know, even though dolls is what brought us together, we connect through so many other things in our lives. Herlonda, I got to meet at the doll show. She was awesome, funny. I had so much fun hanging out with her. There's so many people. And then before I even got into YouTube and got into Doll Fan and all that stuff, there was the club that I ran for people who had baby think it over dolls and stuff like that. And so that was my first group of doll friends. There was Cynthia, who, you know, sadly she passed away last year, but there was Cynthia, there's Nicole, there's another Yvonne, and Keely, Tammy. We all met up that weekend in Minnesota that I showed you guys video from. I mean, just so many wonderful people that I've met, and I would not have met them if it wasn't for this hobby. So as I was sitting here editing this video, it just dawned on me that I forgot one or maybe two other things that doll collecting means to me. And so the first thing that I forgot to mention was the art of it. And that's why, you know, my main passion is the Reborns, because obviously they look very realistic, and it is an incredible art and talent to make these babies look real. You know, not everyone can do it. It takes a lot of skill, a lot of hours, a lot of love, patience, time, money. I mean, it's just an incredible art form. And so while I originally started getting into the hobby because I wanted a realistic looking doll to fulfill that void of being a mom, which is kind of the other thing that I didn't fully explain. So like, I don't have kids yet. I don't know if I will have kids just because of my health, but that's going to be a whole other video. But I don't know. And so for now, you know, I can play the role of a mother and, you know, role play that, and it fills that void, you know, for the most part. And what's cool about it is that they're not real, so I don't have to care for them round the clock like I would a real baby. So if I'm feeling really sick, I can let my baby sit there, and I don't have to feel guilty about being a bad parent that's sick and not able to care for her child, because they're dolls. You know, I have the freedom to go out without them if I want, and things like that. But anyways, getting back to the art of it, like I said, I originally started in this hobby because I wanted to nurture something. I wanted to role play, you know, being a mom and fulfill that void. But over the years, it's progressed to more of enjoying the art side of it. And so that's why I like to collect. Like, realistically, I would never have this many children in real life, whether I was healthy or not. But the reason that I have a large collection is because of the artistry, and I just am blown away with the beauty of the sculpts and the beauty of the Reborn artists' work. And And then on top of that, like I said, I've expanded to other dolls, like the ones that you see behind me, the BB dolls. I think they are very unique and really, I love them. They're cute and they are cuddly. I don't really cuddle them that much, but they're cuddly because they're all cloth and they're soft. And I just think they're cute and different, and I find that an art form too. I mean, they're not realistic, obviously, but it's another art form. And so, yeah, so I really like the art side of it too. And that's why, like, I don't really own many babies. Like, I don't really like to reborn babies for myself. I like to collect other artists' work, and I like to try and have different artists in my collection. So yeah, I just thought I would add this in just right now as I was editing, because those were a couple points that I forgot to mention. So, yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it. I think that's everything I wanted to touch upon on this tag about what doll collecting means to me. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video and seeing Landon in his Wild Things outfit. So cute. I love it. It just looks so boyish, and having his hair sticking up and everything is so friggin' cute. And then the little socks that I put to match it. They're a little bit big, but it's all good. So yeah. So I guess that's it for this tag. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to learn even more about my doll collection and my journey and how I came to get the dolls in my collection, because I don't just have Reborn dolls. I have one-of-a-kind cloth dolls. I have little mini resin dolls that were sculpted by Dorothy Stevens, one of a kind. So, I mean, I've made videos about all of the different dolls that I have in my collection and how I came to collect those types of dolls and what I like about them and things like that. So if you want to see that whole process and story and journey, you can go to my Meet the Babies playlist, where I run down from the start of my collecting to my most recent baby, except of course I still have to do Mr. Landon's video here. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet, but I have all the other babies on there and dolls and even American Girl and everything like that. So that is it for this tag. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next video. Bye, guys. And I thought I would come on and do a quick pajamas of the night with Landon. He is sitting up so well with the support of his boppy pillow. And Riley is also hanging out with us. Aren't you, Riley? Say hi, everybody. He was sleeping and I've kind of woken him up. Sorry about that.